Hare Ram, Hare Hare. So we continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 26, Text 33. We have been hearing the different kind of hells, that there are different sinful activities, and then how for each different kind of sinful activity there's a particular type of hell, particular type of punishment awaiting. Yetva iha bhutani udvejayante nara ulbana swabhava yatha.
यतु इहा विभूतानि उदेजयन्ति नरः उल्बन स्वभावः यथा
Dandashukaste pi pretya narake dandashukakhye nipatanti yatra.
दण्डशूखाते अपि प्रेत्य नरके दण्डशूक आख्ये निपतन्ति यत्र
Nipadandasukha panchamukha saptamukha upasritya grasanti yatha bileshaya.
नृपदण्डशुखा पञ्चमुखा सप्तमुखा उपसत्य ग्रसन्ति यथा विलेशयान.
Translation by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Those who in this life are like envious serpents, always angry and giving pain to other living entities, fall after death into the hell known as Dandashuka. My dear king, in this hell, there are serpents with 5 or 7 hoods. These serpents eat such sinful persons, just as snakes eat mice. So this is for if one is always angry and one is envious of another, giving pain to another, then we get a similar type of punishment. Yetva iha va andhavata kushala guhadishu bhutani nirundhanti.
ये तु इहा अन्ध अवट कुसूल ग्रह आदिषु भूतानि निरुन्धन्ति
तथा मुद्रतेष्व एवोपवेश्य सगरेण वहनेन धूमेन निरुद्धन्ति.
तथा अमुद्रतेषु एव उपवेशयः सरेण ग्रहेण धूमेन निरुन्धन्ति.
Those who in this life confine other living entities in dark wells, granaries, or mountain caves are put after death into the hell known as Avat Nirodhan. There they themselves are pushed into dark wells where poisonous fumes and smoke suffocate them, and they suffer very severely. So when somebody is confined in a dark area, then a similar punishment is there then. Yastva iha va atihin abhyagatan va grahapatir aksrit upkata
यस्त्व इह अतिथिम् अभ्यागतान् वा गृहपति असकृत् उपगत
Manyur didakshur iva papena chakshusha nirikshate tasya chapi niraye.
मन्युर्दिक्षतु इव पापेन चक्षुषा निरीक्षते तस्य च अपि निरये.
Apadrishtir akshini vajratunda gridraha kanka kaka vatadayaha.
पापदृष्टे अक्षिणी व्रततुण्डा वृद्धा कङ्ककाकवटादयः
Rasayoru balat utpatayanti.
प्रस्यहु अरुबलात् उत्पाटयन्ति.
A householder who receives guests or visitors with cruel glances, as if to burn them to ashes, is put into the hell called Paryavartan, where he is gazed at by odd-eyed vultures, herons, crows, and similar birds, which suddenly swoop down and pluck out his eyes with great force. According to the Vedic etiquette, even an enemy who comes to a householder's home should be received in such a gentle way that he forgets that he has come to the home of an enemy. A guest who comes to one's home should be received very politely. If he is unwanted, the householder should not stare at him with unblinking eyes, for one who does so will be put into the hell known as Paryavartan after death. And there many ferocious birds like vultures, crows, and herons will suddenly come upon him and pluck out his eyes. There's so many of this that we heard about the guests coming home. Huh? So that's why they always say the guests should be treated, very well and should be received with great respect, with great honor, because if we dishonor the guests, then there is also hellish punishment for that. Anyone wanted to comment anything?
Yeah, I remember my grandmother, it was my birthday, and there was this friend of mine whom I'd never liked. And I had called for my birthday because you can't leave one person in the class. So I always remember she told me, "Ke, be nice to her, be nice to her. You don't know, be nice to her. No matter what, you don't like her, but be nice to her." मतलब तेको उसके साथ अच्छे से बिहेव करना है. आई रिमेम्बर शी टोल्ड मी कि कोई बात नहीं, तेरे को अच्छी नहीं लगती, कोई बात नहीं, यहाँ पे बहुत कुछ है, बस तेरे को उसके साथ अच्छे से करना है. सो यू नो मे बी दे न्यू, मे बी शी न्यू, शी नेवर टोल्ड मी अबाउट दिस कि ऐसा नर्क होगा ऐसे, बट शी जस्ट टोल्ड मी दैट हमें अच्छे से बिहेव करना चाहिए सबके साथ जो हमारे घर आता है. तो शी इज कमिंग टू आवर हाउस, तो बी गुड टू हर. ऐसे मत करना तू कि उसको इग्नोर करे या कुछ. एंड नाउ आई रिमेम्बर.
Yeah, so
I
your
was
granny
I was
gave you
quite
good instruction. Huh?
Yeah, I mean, I was big at that time, not young. I would say maybe I was 12 or 13. So I understood things. Yeah. So she told me कि ऐसे मत करना कि उस पे गुस्सा कर देगी और कुछ चिड़चिड़ा कर देगी और उसको गेम से बाहर कर देगी कि ये नहीं खेलेगी. You know how she knew ना, she knew me कि हो सकता है मैं ऐसा करूं, so she told me पहले ही कि ऐसा नहीं करना कुछ भी. So now I
Right.
remember.
Yeah, even my mother-in-law, she would say, like, anyone comes, anybody, even a worker, anyone, don't let the person just go without having anything. Like water also you must give. Like at least a biscuit, something, but don't
Yeah.
anyone comes,
Yes.
not just, don't, like, you have to offer something to them.
Yeah.
So that's one thing, like I remember, and even like a worker comes to, do some work. And so please, yeah, have water. I'll give him like some biscuits. I said, no,
If
please
they
take it.
accept, not accept, that's okay, right? But we should offer, right?
We should
Yeah.
offer, no, but then
Yeah.
we tell them, no, this, just a biscuit. That's why
Yeah.
maybe they don't have something else, not water. Okay, just take
Yeah.
this, a packet of biscuit. Like,
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's right. Yeah.
so that's one thing my mom-in-law has taught me, like,
Hmm.
don't
Nice.
let them.
Very nice. Yastva iha va adhyabhimatir ahankritistirya prekshanaha.
Yastu ihava adya abhimati
Adhyabhimati
ahakriti tiryak
ahankritistiria
prekshanaha
prekshanaha
Sarvato bhivishanki artha vyaya nasha chintaya parishushyamana.
सर्वत
सर्वतो
अभिभिक्षंकी
अभिविशन्ति
अर्थवयः नाश
अर्थव्ययनाश
चिन्तया
चिन्ताय
परिशुष्यमाना.
परिचुयमाना
Hridaya vadano nirvritim anvagato graha ivartham abhirakshati sa.
हृदयवन्दनो
हृदयवदनो
निर्वृत्तिम्
निर्वृत्तिम्
अन्वगतो
अनवगतो
ग्रह
ग्रह
इव अर्थम्
इवार्थम्
अभिरक्षति
अभिरक्षति
सः.
Chapi pretya tat utpa dhanotkarshana samrakshana shamala graha.
अपि
चापि
प्रीत्यतत्
प्रीत्येतत्
उत्पादनो उत्कर्षणो
उत्पादनोत्कर्षण
संरक्षणः
संरक्षण
शमलग्रह
शमलग्रह
सूचीमुखे
शुचिमुखे नरके निपतति यत्र वितग्रहं पापपुरुषम्.
सूचीमुखे
सूचीमुखे
नरके
नरके
निपतति
निपतति
यत्र
यत्र
वित्तग्रहं
विग्रहं
पापपुरुषम्
पापपुरुषम्
धर्मराज पुरुषवायका इव सर्वतोगेषु सूत्रे परिवयन्ते.
धर्मराज
राज
पुरुषाः वायकः
पुरुषवायका
इव
इव
सर्वतो
सर्वतो नेषु
अङ्गेषु सूत्रे
सूत्रे
परिवयन्ति.
परिवयन्ति.
One who in this world or in this life is very proud of his wealth always thinks, I'm so rich, who can equal me? His vision is twisted and he is always afraid that someone will take his wealth. Indeed, he even suspects his superiors. His face and heart dry up at the thought of losing his wealth, and therefore he always looks like a wretched friend. He is not in any way able to obtain actual happiness, and he does not know what it is to be free from anxiety. Because of the sinful things he does to earn money, augment his wealth, and protect it, he's put into the hell called Suchimukha, where the officials of Yamraj punish him by stitching thread through his entire body like weavers manufacturing cloth. When one possesses more wealth than necessary, he certainly becomes very proud. This is the situation of men in modern civilization. According to the Vedic culture, Brahmanas do not possess anything, whereas Kshatriyas possess riches, but only for performing sacrifices and other noble activities as prescribed in the Vedic injunctions. A Vaishya also earns money honestly through agriculture, cow protection, and some trade. If a Shudra gets money, however, he will spend it lavishly, without discrimination, or simply accumulate it for no purpose. Because in this age there are no qualified Brahmanas, Kshatriyas, or Vaishyas, almost everyone is a Shudra. Kalo Shudra Sambhavaha. Therefore, the Shudra mentality is causing great harm to modern civilization. A Shudra does not know how to use money to render transcendental loving service to the Lord. Money is also called Lakshmi, and Lakshmi is always engaged in the service of Narayan. Wherever there is money, it must be engaged in the service of Lord Narayan. Everyone should use his money to spread the great transcendental movement of Krishna consciousness. If one does not spend for this purpose, but accumulates more than necessary, he will certainly become proud of the money he illegally possesses. The money actually belongs to Krishna, who says in Bhagavad Gita 5.29, Bhuktaram Yagyatapasam, Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. I am the true enjoyer of sacrifices and penances, and I am the owner of all the planets. Therefore, nothing belongs to anyone but Krishna. One who possesses more money than he needs should spend it for Krishna. Unless one does so, he will become puffed up because of his false possessions, and therefore he will be punished in the next life as described herein. So Sukadev Goswami is saying if one becomes proud of his wealth, then he goes to the hell called Shuchimukha, and Prabhupada is saying so. So if one has excess wealth, then should be used in the service of Krishna. Otherwise, it will lead to pride. So Prabhupada is helping us understand that Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, Bhuktaram Yagyatapasam, that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, Supreme Proprietor, Supreme Enjoyer. Everything belongs to him. So the money also belongs to him. So it should be used for his service to propagate the Krishna consciousness movement. evam vidha narka yamalaye santi shatasha sahasrashasteshu.
एवं विधा नरकायम आलये सन्ति शतशः सहस्रशतेषु
Sarveshu cha sarva eva dharma vartino ye kechit ihodita anuditash.
सर्वेषु च सर्वे एव धर्मवर्तन्यो ये केचित् इह उदिता अनुदिताः
Yavani pate paryayena vishanti tatheva dharmanuvartina itaratra.
च ते पर्यायेण विशन्ति तथा एव धर्म अनुवर्तिन इत्यत्र
Iha tu punarbhavet ta ubhaya sheshabhyam nivishanti.
इह तु पुनर्भवेते उभय दोषभयां निविशन्ति.
My dear King Parikshit, in the province of Yamraj, there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets. The impious people I have mentioned, and also those I have not mentioned, must all enter these various planets according to the degree of their impiety. Those who are pious, however, enter other planetary systems, namely the planets of the demigods. Nevertheless, both the pious and impious are again brought to earth after the results of their pious or impious acts are exhausted. So, in the province of Yamaraj, there are hundreds and thousands of hellish planets. This corresponds to the beginning of Lord Krishna's instructions in Bhagavad Gita, Tatha Dehantar Praptir. Within this material world, one is simply meant to change from one body to another in different planetary systems. Urdhvam gachanti satvastham. Those in the mode of goodness are elevated to the heavenly planets. Adho gachanti tamasa. Similarly, those too engrossed in ignorance enter the hellish planetary systems. Both of them, however, are subjected to the repetition of birth and death. In Bhagavad Gita, it is stated that even one who is very pious returns to earth after his enjoyment in the higher planetary systems is over. Shine punye martya lokam vishanti. Therefore, going from one planet to another does not solve the problems of life. The problems of life will only be solved when we no longer have to accept a material body. This can be possible if one simply becomes Krishna conscious. So now we heard in quite a bit of detail, oh, you do this sinful activity, you go to this hell, do this and go to this hell. Now Sukadev Goswami is saying, of course, he's saying to Parikshit that I spoke to you about the hellish planets. But the pious people, they don't go to the hellish planets. They are going to the planets of the demigods. But after the results are finished, again, they are brought to earth. So irrespective, one is going down. And of course, we heard this horrible suffering, sounds so scary. So there's so much suffering. Then when the time is finished, again come back to earth, create new karma. Or if one acts piously, one goes to heavenly planets and enjoys a lot, lots and lots of enjoyment. But that also, when the time is finished, again come back to earth. So there is a cycle. There's still a repetition happening. Sometimes going up, sometimes going down, up and down, like a Ferris wheel, Prabhupada says. So how to get out of this samsara, the circle of birth and death? Become Krishna conscious. Yes, thank you. Thank you. As Krishna
So
says
this
in
is
Bhagavad
karma
Gita,
kanda, right?
karma kanda. To going up to heavenly planets, that is karma kanda. That we do some pious activity for the intention of going to heavenly planets. And that becomes karma kanda. Yeah. Janma karma cha me divyam evam yo veti tatvataha tyaktva deham punarjanma naiti mameti sorjana. Bhagavad Gita 4.9. One who knows the transcendental nature of my appearance and activities does not, upon leaving the body, take his birth again in this material world, but attains my eternal abode, O Arjuna. So Krishna is saying in this verse, who is it? Upon knowing what? Or who is it that he does not come to this material world? Now we were hearing you do pious activity, you go heavenly planets, still in material world. We do impious activities, we go hellish planets, still within material world. So what is Krishna saying? Who is it that can leave this material world?
One who knows about his appearance and disappearances, Divya, who knows his Abhirbhav and like what he does, that person.
Is transcendental.
Into
Divyam,
nature.
yes, is transcendental. Because people talk about Krishna's appearance, Janmashtami, Krishna's Leelas, but what we have to understand is that these are transcendental, not material. And one who can know it, then he goes to the spiritual world. This is the
Also, one
perfection
who
of life.
knows and also one who knows and engages, right? The
Yes.
devotional service, right?
Yeah, one who will know it will engage in devotional service. Yeah. See, one who understands that Krishna is God, then one will engage in devotional service, understanding Krishna is transcendental.
Mm. Okay.
Yeah. The Krishna's supreme
Hare
position.
Krishna. I just want to say one thing here, that just because before we never knew the importance of all the tithis, right? So then we did not do anything important, or we didn't do anything meaningful on those tithis. But now, as we are reading in association, we are getting to know the value of Ekadashi. It's a Bhakti Janani Tithi. And then we are getting to know the value of the appearance tithis of all the Goswamis and the special days, that they are so important. So then we automatically engage ourselves in more devotional service on those days. So I'm just trying to give the example what you're trying to mean here.
Thank you. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.
Yeah. So this is the perfection of life and the real solution to life's problems. This is the perfection of life, Prabhupada saying, and real solution to life's problems. You know, we have so many problems and we're always trying to find solution. But Prabhupada is saying the real solution is become Krishna conscious. We should not be eager to go to the higher heavenly planetary systems, nor should we act in such a way that we have to go to the hellish planets. The complete purpose of this material world will be fulfilled when we resume our spiritual identities and go back home, back to Godhead. A very simple method for doing this is prescribed by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. So why should we try to get out of this material world in the first place? Why we should not try to go even to the heavenly planets and enjoy over there? Everyone likes enjoyment. Everyone wants better facilities.
Because the purpose of human life is to go back to Godhead.
Yeah, that's right. Purpose of human life is to go back to Godhead and
that is where
resume
we
our
belong.
spiritual identities. I'm sorry?
Yeah, because that is where we belong. Right?
Yes, yes, that's
That is
right.
the
We are,
original
yeah, we have spiritual identities, we have spiritual bodies.
entities.
We have to resume, Prabhupada is saying, resume our spiritual identity. We have just forgotten it. And Prabhupada is saying how we can do it? By surrender to Krishna. Krishna is saying in Bhagavad Gita, this is very famous, everyone quotes it, but not very easy to do, not very easy to surrender. Krishna is saying, Sarva Dharman Parityagya Mam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. He's boldly declaring it in the middle of both the armies. So there are millions of people there. Everywhere he's telling, just surrender to me. Nobody says that. Nobody declares that. Krishna declares. Why? Because he's God. He's saying surrender for our benefit. Because there may be politicians or there may be film stars or influencers or entertainers. They say, follow me, follow me, follow me. But for whose benefit are they saying? Is it our benefit or their benefit? But Krishna is saying, surrender to me is for our benefit. We are benefited. One should be neither pious nor impious. One should be a devotee and surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. This surrendering process is also very easy. Even a child can perform it. So Krishna is saying, surrender unto me. And then Prabhupada is explaining how to surrender. Krishna is also saying the same in Bhagavad Gita chapter 9. Manmana bhava mad bhakto madhyaji mam namaskuru. One must always simply think of Krishna by chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. One should become Krishna's devotee, worship him, and offer obeisances to him. Thus, one should engage all the activities of his life in the service of Lord Krishna. So our surrendering process begins when we start chanting Hare Krishna. This is the dharma which is given, Kali Yuga Dharma, Harinam Sankirtan. This is the process which has been given to us in this age of Kali, to chant the holy name. Anyone wanted to add anything else? Nivriti Lakshana Marga Adav Eva Vyakhyata Etavan Evandakosho.
Nivrati
Nivriti
Lakshana
Lakshana Marga Adav Eva
Vyakhyata
Vyakyata
Etavan
Etavan
Eva
Eva
Andakosha
Andakoshu
Yash Chaturdashadha Puraneshu Vikalpita Upagiyate Yattad Bhagavato.
Yashchaturdashada Puraneshu
Puraneshu
Vikalpita
Vikalpito Upakiyate Yattad
Upakiyate Tad
Bhagavato
Bhagavata
Narayanasya Sakshan Mahapurushasya Sthavishtam Rupam.
Narayana
Sakshat
Saksha
Mahapurushasya
Mahapurushasya
Vishtam Rupam
Rupam
Atma Maya Gunamayam Anuvarnitam Adrita Pathati Shanoti.
Atmamaya Gunamayam
Anuvarnitam
Anuvarnitam
Adata
Adrita
Iti
Patati
Shrunoti
Shrunoti
Shravayati sa upageyam bhagavata paramatmano grayam api shraddha bhakti vishuddha buddhirveda.
Shravayati
Shapakeyam
Upageyam
Bhagavata
Bhagavato Paramatmano
Paramatmano
Agraham
Agrayam
Api Shraddha
Vishraddha
Bhakti
Bhakti
Vishuddha
Vishuddha
Buddhi
Buddhi
Veda.
Veda
In the beginning, the second and third cantos of Srimad Bhagavatam, I have already described how one can progress on the path of liberation. In the Puranas, the vast universal existence, which is like an egg divided into 14 parts, is described. This vast form is considered the external body of the Lord, created by his energy and qualities. It is generally called the Virat Rupa. If one reads the description of this external form of the Lord with great faith, or if one hears about it or explains it to others to propagate Bhagavad Dharma or Krishna consciousness, his faith and devotion in spiritual consciousness, Krishna consciousness, will gradually increase. Although developing this consciousness is very difficult, by this process, one can purify himself and gradually come to an awareness of the Supreme Absolute Truth. The Krishna Consciousness Movement is pushing forward the publication of Srimad Bhagavatam, as explained, especially for the understanding of the modern civilized man, to awaken him to his original consciousness. Without this consciousness, one melts into complete darkness. Whether one goes to the upper planetary systems or the hellish planetary systems, he simply wastes his time. Therefore, one should hear of the universal position of the Virat form of the Lord as described in Srimad Bhagavatam. That will help one save himself from material conditional life and gradually elevate him to the path of liberation so that he can go back home, back to Godhead. So Sukadev Goswami is saying for us to increase further in our devotion, to become more Krishna conscious, to get detached from this material world, to understand more the absolute nature of the Lord, one should hear about the universal form. Hearing, speaking, propagating of the universal form. Virat Purush.
So, is he talking about the Virat Purush so that the people who can't connect, they can at least connect with him in a way, right?
Yes, because one may think that God has no form. So, but at least beginning to think that this universal form is God. God has this universal form, which is of all the planets and everything that is in the universe, the clouds, the rivers, the oceans. So one can begin to understand that,
Okay.
that God also has a form, and then gradually develop the spiritual consciousness, understanding that God actually has a spiritual form.
Perfect. Yeah. Okay.
So, Hare Krishna. So that means the Prakriti, the material nature, is his form, right? That's what it's
Prakriti,
trying to say.
yeah, Prakriti is also coming from him, because what happens is in our experience, we can see only Prakriti. We are only experiencing material nature. Now, when we try to understand this material nature belongs to God, then we can understand his spiritual nature. First, we have to understand this material nature belongs to him. Yeah, because that's all we can experience, just the material. We are not able to experience the spiritual. So how it was said, right? The clouds are like the hair on his head of the universal form, or the ocean is his abdomen, or the trees are like the hairs on his body. Like that. Understanding that this Prakriti belongs to God, belongs to Krishna. Is that okay?
Yes. That
Shrutva
form
sthulam.
goes, right, to Arjuna. Arjuna
Yes.
wanted to
Yes.
see, and it was actually for benefit of others, like, they could understand when by reading the Bhagavad Gita, that how Krishna had shown, right, the form,
Yeah,
the universal
that's
form.
right. Yes, because Krishna kept on saying, yes, yes, this belongs to me, this belongs to me, this belongs to me. But he also showed how it belongs to him.
Right.
Arjuna could see everything there in Krishna. And like that, Arjuna set up a standard that if anyone declares that they are God, incarnation of God or Krishna, then they should be able to show the universal form.
But that was the scary universal form, right?
Yeah.
That was like everything, everybody was entering his mouth.
No,
That
Yeah.
in the Bhagavad Gita, what we talked was the scary one,
Chapter
because in
11, no?
Bhagavatam, we talked
Yeah.
about this, that his body parts are, his feet are the, his legs are the Shudras. So in that way, if, and
Yeah.
like how you mentioned the mountains, that we read in the Bhagavatam, right?
Yeah.
In the Bhagavad Gita, there was like, he showed that how the battlefield, like all demigods belong to him, everybody is him, and everything entering his mouth, and right, that was the scary one. Even Arjuna
How
couldn't
they've
bear
been
it.
crushed and all. Yeah. Right.
Yeah, and he
Yeah.
said that I don't want to see Krishna this form.
Yeah. That was
Yeah.
in chapter 11. Bhagavad
Yeah,
Gita.
but that was the scary one. So what you are talking about here is like the one that we read in the Bhagavatam, right? We read
Yeah.
in the
Different
third
parts.
canto, I think third or fourth
Yeah.
canto,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Hmm.
So which
That's
one
right.
do we call universal form? Actually.
Actually, because see, Krishna also showed universal form to Duryodhan,
Hmm.
but he showed a different universal form to Duryodhan, because when he
Yeah.
showed the universal form to Arjun, he said, this one nobody has seen ever before, what I'm showing you
Hmm.
right now.
Hmm. Hmm.
So because Krishna is so unlimited, he's inconceivable.
Hmm.
So then
So
he
whatever is
shows,
required at that time.
yeah,
Hmm.
yeah, what
Okay.
one is needed to see.
See at that time. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm. No, but yeah, that is perfectly okay. But then what they are trying to say here is that if that person moves to liberation, right? So like that means that the people who are assuming that, this Prakriti house, Nehaji said that the Prakriti is Krishna. So then like they can at least they can thank Krishna in that way, because they know that this universal form is Krishna, the Prakriti
Yeah, even
way.
this, even the other one,
Okay.
Anything, yeah.
Okay.
yeah,
They
it's
can
Anything
the
that
do
same,
that.
no?
is
That
Yeah,
Mrityu
because
Bhagwan se
it's,
aati hai sari. They can think that way,
yes,
that everybody goes inside
yeah.
Krishna and everybody comes. Okay. Yeah.
And Arjuna could see everything over there in one place, all the planets, all the
Hmm.
people, all the demigods, everything Arjuna
Hmm.
was seeing in one place. Imagine
Hmm.
that, what can we see sitting from what are we able to see?
Hmm.
Our view is so limited. Now imagine you can
Yes.
see the entire material creation sitting in one place. Wouldn't you become like, oh my God,
Hmm.
what's happening?
Yeah.
and
So
he could
that's why
see that, all the Kauravas, all were being, right? They are ready
Yeah, they were
yeah.
going
inside
inside
their
his mouth.
mouth.
Yeah, crushed. Yeah.
So that's what,
So,
right? So
Yeah.
but there was a
Yeah. So
specific
even
purpose because Krishna wanted to tell him that time I
tell
am,
him
I have
that
come to devour.
time I
And
am.
Arjuna
Yes.
was saying, I'm not going to fight. But Krishna
fight,
wanted to
yeah.
show him that, see, you're not going to fight, but these people are going to die
Uh,
anyways.
They are ready,
You know?
yeah. They're yes.
Yeah. So,
Hmm.
but universal form is universal form. Even that is
Hmm.
universal form. So if one can
Okay.
understand that God has a universal form, so at
Hmm.
least the concept one can begin that, oh yes, God has a form. At
Okay.
least one can begin with that understanding then.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. So then we'll stop here for today.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. Thank you so much
Thank
for joining
you.
in. Shla Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare Krishna.